So there isn't really one kind of answer to how to prepare for the GRE. It really changes student by student. There's definitely like standardized ways that we can go about approaching how to study, though. The first thing is to take a diagnostic. I mean, that's like the first thing that any student should be doing. Take out, 4 hours, turn your phone off, go somewhere where you know your roommate won't be banging on the door, your dog won't be barking, something like that. Take the diagnostic, try to simulate test day conditions, and then figure out, if you do this through Kaplan, you'll get a smart report and it'll tell you like individually where your weaknesses are. If you do it through the ETS website, they also have 2 full-length GREs on there. It'll tell you your score per section. So this gives you a starting point. It's like, okay, where are my weaknesses? If you have a smart report, it's like individually what kind of math questions am I getting wrong, or where am I going wrong on my verbal reasoning? And so that gives you like a really good place to say, okay, for example, like my weakness was absolute value inequalities. Like even now when I do them, sometimes I still have to like draw out the number line and say, okay, but that gave me a really good starting point. I knew exactly when I was going to open up my math book which section I wanted to turn to. Kind of gives you a little bit of peace of mind too. It's like one thing to check off the list, one type of question that you know that you're better at. But overall, I mean, so weaknesses is important, but overall, figuring out, like setting a really, really specific structure and day-to-day study activity is very important. GRE is completely self-motivated. You're the only one doing it. And it's so easy to kind of say, oh, I'll start studying tomorrow, or I'll open my book later. I have so many other things going on. And so that's the second step, is kind of making a study schedule and saying, Monday I'm going to, even if it's, I'm going to read The Economist for 3 hours and try and figure out the conclusion of every argument that I've read. That's a perfect study strategy. That's great. Or if it's, I'm going to open up my math book from 8th grade and I'm going to redo every single chapter in the next month. That's completely valid also. But trying to figure out like how you can integrate your weaknesses with those everyday study habits, and then reinforcing your strengths. That's something that people forget to do also. Also throughout, this is something that's completely neglected, but doing kind of like emotional exercises, like preparing yourself, embracing those questions that you get wrong because they help you set a path to get better. And getting really excited. Like, I think people forget that part, and I'm a really big supporter of that. Just being excited that this is like such an exciting step that you're taking forward, and you've set a schedule for being done with the GRE. That's already an exciting thing on its own.